This week on Extravision, I have the extraordinarily good fortune of sitting down with Mr. Andrew Scott and Paul Mescal to discuss their new film, Allofusstrangers. If you can't already tell from our conversation, this film connected with me in ways I believe almost anyone can relate to. It was a genuine privilege to hear them speak about their process and about the film story. I hope you enjoy. Absolutely love the film. It's obviously incredibly layered. I lost my mother recently, so I was kind of really attracted to the conversations with you and your mother, and then I'm going to be a dad for the first time, so then I was kind of having the conversation you that I find resonated. Did much change between like your first reading of the script, making the film, and then obviously getting to see the film, what you took and what your interpretation of the story was?
Well, I think it's because what's really surprising to us is the broad spectrum of audience members, because people go, like you're just saying, or it could be someone who's going through grief, or someone's about to be a parent. Everyone has a relationship with parenthood, whether their parents or somebody at some point has had a parent or will be a parent. Yeah. And then there's a whole section of people, LGBT people who react to that side of the thing. So it's got this enormous breadth of humanity to it. So that's, I think, the thing that I feel is the thing, now that it's going out to audience members, is just how wide the scope of it and how it affects so many different types of people.
Obviously, you have incredible chemistry with each other, but I think it does a bit of a disservice. Everyone just thinks, oh, they get on, this is going to show up on the screen. Like, the relationship you have in the film is very different, I imagine, to the one you have now. Do you get much time to work on that? Is it difficult to work on that?
It depends on the director. I think with this, and actually thank you for saying that, because I think what people can confuse sometimes is the chemistry that people have outside of a filming context should feel different to the relationship on screen if the actors are doing their job correctly. I think with Andrew Haigh on this, I think he trusted us to do the work actually kind of when the camera was turning over, for the most part, because you do your preparation before it. But I think a lot of this is about, for our journey through the film, or my journey through the film, is the beginning of a loving relationship. So that we benefited from kind of just jumping in and seeing where it would go, I think.
Absolutely.
From kind of the outside looking in, you're both actors. I feel that you're very much about the work, and fame is this kind of, byproduct of that. When you're signing on to these bigger movies now, like there's rumors you're going to be playing James Bond, you've been in a Bond film as well yourself. Do you find yourself kind of second guessing, do I want everything that comes with this? Like, maybe next time after this I won't be offered things like, After Sun or Allofusstrangers. Does that come into your thinking when picking these kind of bigger budget roles?
That comes down to your relationship to artistic integrity, and the scale of the film is never the thing to chase. But there's films that I want to do that are $350 million, and there's films that I want to do that are $3 million, and what's prescribed to those films is a kind of shinier badge that more people will see, and of course that brings a certain degree of fame. And I think, speaking for both of us, I think we have a very clear idea of what that means to us, and the important thing being that we get to keep making work that we're really proud of, and that's the thing that we have to navigate. It'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly. It is definitely a consideration, you think. I love that expression, fame is the mask that eats the face.
Yeah, that's good.
Isn't it good? Yeah. Because that's the thing, because of course, like we all do, I'm sure I do it, about, you go to these big award shows and you see, what's actually kind of interesting about being in those award shows is you see this sort of, these human beings, because you see, there's some icon who's just like waiting for a drink, or somebody standing on their dress or whatever. You know what I mean? You're seeing these people who are nervous. There's a huge amount of nervous energy, and people who are vulnerable, and that's a good thing to absorb. But I do think that when it happens to you, where people see, project some stuff onto you, it's kind of an unsettling feeling, and you want to go, well, this is who I am, and you don't know who anybody is until you meet them and you encounter them. So having a sort of a I think that's the thing that's disturbing, people having a sort of existing idea.
Or people going like, you don't want that, so why are you going to an award ceremony? It's because you want to promote the film and the work, and you want to champion. It's your job. And also, the thing that we are proud of is the thing that puts you in that room anyway. So those things are celebrations, and look, it's confusing and a byproduct and not the reason to chase work, I think.
Yeah.
And finally, the show is called Extravision, obviously named after the old video shop, and we have a section called The X Rental. And the concept is, if you were to go back into a video shop one more time and pick 3 movies, if you were hosting a party and let's say I was coming over, what 3 films would you put on?
Do you remember the film SWAT with Colin Farrell?
Yeah.
I rented that film from Extravision, I'd say about 20 times.
Wow.
We would go in on it because every time I watched it on the plane coming back from LA, I was like, this is so entertaining. So I'd have to stick that in for a bit of crack. What would you put in?
Do you know what I'm thinking about my Extravision story? A friend of mine, years and years and years ago, it's probably about 15 years ago, I don't know when this film came out, rented a Sandra Bullock film called While You Were Sleeping. Right? And I was supposed to bring it back, and I never did. And it was over the summer, it was like, it was around, I don't know when it was. And I remember going back and I found While You Were Sleeping. And I was like, this is overdue by
How much did it cost?
360 quid. I'll never forget it. To bring it back. And I had to go, I was like, sorry, I've been sleeping on While You Were Sleeping. And the person in Extravision did not
Take
have
that.
any of it.
360 quid. But surely it gets to the point where they just go, it's 100 quid.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
you
that's
just
what
like,
I
there should be a
thought.
cap.
Come on. No, 360
So if
quid.
you'd paid your fine, you'd still be in business now.
What?
Yeah,
You'd still be in business if you'd
If you
paid your
paid
fine.
your fine,
Exactly.
Extravision wouldn't have gone under.
Yeah, well, you were sleeping. But anyway, that's not answering your question. SWAT. Yeah, let's have a bit of SWAT.
Let's have SWAT. Just
Yeah.
satiate me on that.
Okay, well, that gives us a bit of action. Do you want something sad? Of course you
Could we
do.
put
You
it? Yeah.
always have
Could
a
we
bit
put
of
in?
sad.
Could we put in The Remains of the Day?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
It's big. That's
Remains
a
of the Day.
great one.
And
what other genre do we need?
something
Do
like.
you like a horror film?
No, I can't
No, I
watch
don't
them.
watch a horror film either.
What about like
Comedy?
No, I don't like laughing.
clearly? What about like like great independent, like a Tyrannosaur?
Oh, Tyrannosaur.
Tyrannosaur.
What a great
Yeah,
movie. Nice.
great
We
film.
were just talking about Tyrannosaur.
Yeah,
Paddy Considine.
yeah, Paddy Considine. Yeah,
fantastic.
great
Olivia
film.
Colman.
Unfortunately, time is up against us there. Really, really love the film. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you,
guys.
Sam.
Absolute
Thank you.
pleasure. If you identify with anything that's being said about All of Us Strangers, and perhaps even more so if you don't, I truly can't recommend enough that you support a film like this. Talk to your friends, your loved ones, and if you're like me, you feel quite cynical about the state of the film industry, rest assured it's stories like this that help restore your faith in movie making. I'd love to hear what you think about it in the comments once you've seen it.